Ulises, perhaps it's a little bit premature, but it's a question maybe we should start asking. Has Shane McClanahan earned true ace status?
Well, let's dive deep, Kevin Weiss.
I love it.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And we're the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making Locked On Rays your very first listen every day. And remember, Locked On Rays is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube at Locked On Rays. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Rays and email us anytime, lockedonrays@gmail.com. Well, Ulises, as we sort of brought up on Monday's episode and the outstanding performance that Shane McClanahan delivered after the first few pitches that he put forth against the Red Sox and finishing with 7 strong and starting to build some momentum here and already ranks among the league leaders and pitch, strikeouts, ERA, all the metrics look very ace-worthy.
Yeah.
How much more will it take for you to consider him to be an ace? Again, our definition, I think we're on the same page here. Our definition of ace is different from just a team having a number one or an opening day starter. Pittsburgh's number one is not an ace.
Thank you. Yeah, first of all, let's make that definition. What is an ace?
It's not Jose Quintana. It's not Patrick Corbin. It's probably not even Eduardo Rodriguez.
An ace, if you're playing cards, right, there are only 4 of them on that deck of cards.
4 and 52. What's the math?
So exactly. So it's very few.
Question.
Very few.
How many aces do you think there are in baseball right now?
I would if you were to make a bell graph, right?
Yeah.
The aces would be on that, asymptote line on the right edge of that graph, very close. Like they are the minimal. So if I have to say, okay, who am I giving the ball to? Like, who do I trust? I mean, you're talking the Scherzers.
Yeah.
You're talking the Jacob deGroms. You're talking Verlanders. I mean, I know that he got hurt and he's trying to come back, but he's looked okay so far. You're talking the big Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
You're talking the big guns here. I mean, I love that the fact that you brought that up from the outset. Just because you're a number one of a rotation does not mean that you're an ace.
Right.
So let's dive deep into the Tampa Bay Rays organization. Is Shane McClanahan their number one true ace? Their number one true starter?
That is true. Yes. He's the number one true starter.
He's their number one
opening day guy.
He's the guy, right? Is he an ace on April 26th of 2022? No,
not yet.
He's not an ace.
How much more do you think it will take if he puts up and continues the trek that he's on until the All-Star break?
I think that's a great question because I'll answer it with another one of my questions.
Okay.
Do you consider Robbie Ray an ace?
He had an ace season last year.
Cy
That's
Young winner.
so tough. It is really, really tough.
I don't think most baseball people, baseball fans would say Robbie Ray is an ace.
When you bring up ace, I feel like you've got to do it more than 1 year, at least a year and a half, close to 2 years of elite stuff.
Yeah. Because is Blake Snell an ace?
Probably not anymore.
No,
he was. For a period.
And
you can lose that ace status, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, from the second half of 2017, all of 2018, which was his Cy Young, that was his ace status.
Yeah,
but that can be lost. Shane McClanahan has all the makings of becoming an ace. He has the qualities of being the best pitcher in the American League and winning a Cy Young. I have no doubt about that being a possible, very likely future for Shane McClanahan.
Yeah.
The issue is that it takes a little bit of time, and that moniker gets thrown out like it's for sale.
Yeah.
Every day there's now they're ace, an ace. Here's an ace, and here's an ace. I'm sorry, I don't prescribe to or subscribe, but you should subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Right.
Boom. I don't subscribe to that, theory of just throwing the word ace willy-nilly to everybody. That's ridiculous. Then if everybody's an ace, then there is no ace.
That's a good point. Question. So Shane McClanahan in his career thus far, last year and this year, he's thrown about 145 innings.
Yeah.
Say he gets to 200 innings and his stats are very similar to what they are now. He continues along his current trek, his current average. Would you then consider him an ace, or it's going to take significantly longer, a la a full season?
See, exactly. I feel Robbie Ray had a Cy Young season, and I don't consider him an ace. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe other people do consider him an ace. I'm sure other people do consider him an ace. I don't. I think ace is...
It's got to be very reserved, yes.
Acropolis, okay? You're at the top of the pantheon. The gods are smiling upon you, and you're just in other air.
You can get a steak at Outback, but that does not mean it's going to be as good as a steak from Ruth Chris or Capitol Grill.
Or the steak place that Jack Lebowski mentioned us, Bones, right? Bones in Atlanta, Georgia.
The fact that you remember that, I don't remember that at all. I remember a lot of things about that Jack Lebowski interview, but steak places, I don't.
I take it from Mr. Foodie himself, Jack Lebowski. But no, I think if at the end of the season, look, he has a 2.45 ERA right now.
Insane.
He's in 22 innings. He's got 31 strikeouts, 0.95 whip. He's doing ace-like things, but I can't just drop the A word on Shane McClanahan just yet. I need more. I need all of 2022, and I need a 2023 really good half start of the season, and then you can call him an ace. Because if we're just calling ace a guy because of half a season, and not even half a season, but like not even 30 starts, man, 29.
Right. That's a good point.
Not even a full season, and we're just gonna give the moniker of ace to people. No, you have to earn that a little bit.
We are very quick to put the crown on people, but I will say that I think it was John Romano that brought up a really interesting stat. So Tyler Glasnow, since the start of the 2020 season, he has a 10-3 record, 3.22 ERA, and 145 and a third innings pitched. Shane McClanahan has gone 11-7 with a 3.28 ERA and 145 and a third innings pitched since 2021. Now, maybe our perspective of Glasnow is a little bit different because he is a little bit nastier than Shane McClanahan. As nasty as Shane McClanahan is with his stuff, and I mean that in a good way, Tyler Glasnow is almost to a different level. Moreover, maybe that 2020 season, even though, I mean, I guess that it wasn't a full season, but it was a full season.
But look, Kevin, 2019, he was a front runner for the first month and a half of the Cy Young, right? That gave you points. Then he comes back and he was nasty. In 2020, the regular season, it was 60 games, but he was nasty. 2021, again, another Cy Young kind of run until he gets hurt. So that's 3 seasons, maybe half of what a normal season would be, or maybe even a third, but each one him being at the top. So even I wouldn't have called Tyler Glasnow an ace at the start of 2021. So I can't call Shane McClanahan an ace just yet. But just because I'm not calling him an ace just now doesn't negate the fact that he has all of to be one.
And we will get into that. There's discussion. But first, we've got to tell you about BetOnline. BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting stats and sports info. You can find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoffs and, of course, the start of the MLB season. BetOnline, it is your continued source for all your sport wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and more. So head over to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, it is where the game starts. Now, Ulises, what I will say that really impresses me about Shane McClanahan, among other things, is the fact that he is not shying away from the moment and the opportunity where Glasnow's down. Boz is down. Yarbrough's down. Patino's down. Everybody is seemingly down. A bunch of bullpen arms are down. And the Rays are a team that's like, hey, if you can give us 3 or 4, we're good with that. So the fact that they're letting him work out the string to 6 innings, 7 innings shows that, man, they must really think he's special for an organization that is so very much wanting to pull guys before 5 innings pitched or right at 5 innings pitched.
You can say it, Kevin. The Rays organization likes to keep the gloves on.
Yes.
For their pitchers. You know, it's worked so far. So it's frustrating as a fan not to have the baseball of old, seeing a guy go 7, 8 innings. So it is very nice to see Shane McClanahan, to see Shane McClanahan go 6 and then 7. Now I'll say this, that I didn't say it on Monday's show. Impressive, the fact that not only he went 7, but when did he go 7? He went 7 innings after a whole bullpen day.
Yes.
Where there was a no hit intact until the 10th. Everybody had basically pitched except for 2 guys, and the 2 guys that didn't pitched after him an inning. So that's the stopper mentality that we've heard for so long about the frontline starter. They're your number one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what an ace does. He stops it. He turns it around. He saves the bullpen. All of those cliches, which are cliches for a reason, is because they're true. So all of that he did on Sunday. So again, he's doing ace-like stuff.
Yes.
He's doing ace-like stuff. And one thing I want to point out very, very much so, we said at the top of the lockout ending how Shane McClanahan needed to utilize more of his pitches. He's got 4 above. You have to change it up. You can't just be a fastball slider guy. The slider usage is so lovely to see that it's down to 16% when it was at 35% a year ago.
And I think that's his worst pitch, quite frankly.
I mean, it's
nasty. Fastball, curveball, changeup. I think the slider, I mean, I would almost say it's fringe average, maybe just in comparison to the other pitches.
But the thing, though, it's like, it's a 92-mile-an-hour slider. Like, that can't be average. Like, that's nasty.
But does it get a lot of slide on it, or is it just a cutter?
Or, well, not even that.
Is it a walk slutter?
Or is it a pitch that right out of the hand, the batters know what's coming, and if you don't have command nor control of the strike zone of that pitch, then you're just giving them a free ball. Then you're giving them a free look at that hand positioning, at those fingers on the ball, and now they can just scrap that because you don't have it. So I love the fact the curveball increased it from 16% to 29.5%. The curveball, again, the changeup. I love him introducing more of that changeup, that curveball, and have a more balanced pitch mix than before. You don't have to be a fastball slider guy when you have a changeup, Kevin, that in, how is it? Let me see here. In 13 at-bats, they're batting 0.
Yeah.
They're batting 0 against that pitch. So that's something that we saw on Sunday, and I'm sure that he's going to look at that video and he's going to feel good about the way that he attacked those pitchers, and he's going to do that changeup again.
What you should really be excited about if you're a Rays fan and for Shane McClanahan is we wax poetic about Tyler Glasnow, despite the fact that he gets hurt frequently and is going to miss all of this season. More refined and developed as a pitcher with more usable offerings than Tyler Glasnow at his age. I mean, let's also keep in context, Shane McClanahan's 25. What was Tyler Glasnow doing at 25? Was he still with the Pirates at 25? Maybe?
He might have been.
He's 28 and a half now, give or take, I think.
So he might have been wearing gold.
Yeah, and he definitely didn't have 4 usable pitches, that's for sure. At least 3 really, really good ones and a 4th, topper in there.
Again, his 3rd pitch was that slutter that he introduced in 2021 in spring training.
Yeah.
To his actual pitch mix. So he was a 2-pitch pitcher, but I mean, like you said earlier, nasty fastball, nasty curveball, he got away with it. But Shane doesn't have to do that. And I really think that that's part of the growth from being and not just Well, I think look, I don't throw 100 miles an hour. But
You don't?
if I did, Kevin, I would really enjoy it. I would really want to show it off. And I don't throw a 92 mile an hour slider, Kevin. And I don't know if any other listeners do either.
Yeah.
I bet they don't. But if they did, if I did, I'd be pretty psyched about getting a slider at 92 mile an hour, and I would like to see it. But that's the growth that we have to see from Shane McClanahan, and we're seeing it in the last 2 to 3 outings. Is more of the changeup, more of the curveball. Slow it down on that slider. It's nasty, but if you're not getting swings and misses, if you're actually not having control of it, go to your other pitches.
Right. I've got a little game for you.
Okay.
Actually, first a question.
Okay.
When did you consider Blake Snell to be an ace? Was it after the 2018 season, or was it at the All-Star break? Was it 2/3 through the season, 3/4 through the season? When was that point of he's an ace?
I think it was around August and September. I was like, holy crap, like this is actually happening.
Okay.
He's the guy.
So if McClanahan keeps this up until August or September, or maybe even July, mid-July, late July, I would
need August, September again.
Okay.
to even it's again ace, man. It's you. If anybody that is listening or watching this on YouTube and you disagree with me, which of course you can,
right.
Why the heck would you not be able to? I want you to list your aces. List on the comment boxes.
Great point. That's a great comment.
Watching on YouTube, list out aces. If it's 20, it's 20. If it's 2, it's 2. If you only think that Jacob deGrom and Garrett Cole are the only aces in MLB, that's okay. That's fine. I want to know what people think about this ace conversation. How many aces are there in MLB?
I would think a lot of people would probably waffle between 10 to 16, give or take.
Okay. Let's do some quick math.
It's about 1 every 3 teams.
So 150 total pitchers, right?
Yeah.
In easy math, because, 5 times 30. Okay, so then what? We're saying 16 aces divided by 150?
So it's 10%.
That's 11%. Yeah, 11%.
But think about how many more starters there are than that. But opening day. Yeah.
I can't 11%. I don't know.
Well, that's just on opening day, because there's a lot more guys that are going to start games and get opportunities throughout the course of the season. I mean, how many guys will start a game from game 0 to game 162? I mean, you might have 500 starters by the time the year is over. Yeah. And again, I think it changes. You might be an ace at one point and then you're not an ace. So I think there's a lot. For example, is John Means an ace right now?
Well, there you go. No, he's not, and he never was.
Okay.
He was the top of the front line starter.
Is Nate Eovaldi an ace?
No, I don't think he's an ace.
Okay. Is Sandy Alcantara an ace?
See? Okay.
I think
he is.
Yeah.
I think he is.
Max Fried.
Wow,
he's getting there.
He's getting there.
If he's not there yet, then Shane McClanahan's definitely not there yet in your grading scale.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe here, I know we like round numbers. We like, fun stats as baseball people.
Yeah.
If Shane McClanahan, not saying he's going to have a sub-3 ERA, but maybe he finishes the year with a 3.5 ERA, he gives you 30 starts and 200 plus strikeouts. Sub-3.5 ERA. Or does it take more than that?
No. I mean that's okay.
And this is the AL. Let's remember, this is the AL East too.
In those ballparks, in against those lineups, against that strength of schedule. Yeah, no. If by the end of this year you're looking at Shane's numbers and they look very similar to what he has put up so far, yeah, I think he earned an ace. But you know what also has earned ace?
An idea.
What is it?
Rock
Auto. Because why? Because you can save time and money when you use Rock Auto. Why choose to spend 30, 50, even 100% more for the same parts from a chain store or a car dealership? That doesn't make sense, guys. That's like saying that there's 50 aces in MLB. That's just baloney. Rock Auto is a family business, though, and they serve do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years. Their prices are reliably low for every customer. They have everything you could ever need: brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, and even new carpet. Go explore their easy-to-use website today to find the solution to your auto part needs. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck. Right, Locked On in their How Did You Hear About Us box so they know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com.
All right, Ulises, the dreaded Seattle Mariners are coming to St. Petersburg for a 3-game series. And yes, the Mariners, who haven't made the playoffs since 2001, longest postseason drought, I think, in professional sports.
Professional sports, yes.
I think they're actually going to get there this year. They won 90 games last year. I don't know how they won 90 games with that team. That was like the 2018 Rays, where it's like, what? They put crap on a wall and somehow came out with 90. They got lucky in a lot of games, and they also did a lot of damage against the Rays. That notwithstanding, this Mariners team is actually a pretty solid group, and they've shown that so far, being 10-6.
They're number 1 in their division right now.
Yeah.
They're the ace in that division.
That's true.
The Seattle Mariners are. And I'll tell you that your best friend is the reason why they're doing so well.
Who's my best friend?
Your best friend. You made fun of him 1,000 times in 2021, but boy, vive la France.
Oh,
Thai France. My goodness, look at these gaudy numbers. 375 average, an on base of 459, slugging a 656. That's a 1.115 OPS, already 5 home runs, almost 20 RBI. I mean, the guy's Savant Page is just a dreamer's delight. It's pretty nasty what he's doing right now. Look at that K rate in the 94th percentile. The xWOB at 99th percentile, the slugging at 97th percentile, max exit velo in the 80th percentile. Dude's on fire right now.
Yeah, he's on fire. I don't think he'll keep it up for the entire season. But what's crazy about the Mariners is they weren't a very good offensive team last year, but this year they are actually tops in baseball in WRC plus. And this is without a lot of guys heating up as of yet.
Yeah.
Jesse Winker hasn't showed anything. Julio Rodriguez, Jared Kelenic, Adam Frazier, Abraham Toro. That's like 5 guys that you're expecting to pick up the fold a little bit. Again, Ty France is going to come back down to earth.
Yeah.
JP Crawford is going to come back down to earth. Eugenio Suarez, I think he could keep on his trajectory right now. I credit the Mariners. I mean, again, they were right there. They won 90 games last season. I think it was a fluky 90 wins, but still.
But God, don't you love that?
Yeah.
A frisky 90. Like, how the hell did they get there to 90? Yeah. And then you don't know what they did?
They capitalized.
Did they press down the brake pedal?
No.
Or did they go, you know what? Let's put that into 4th gear.
Yeah.
Let's put that into 5th and press that long pedal on the right.
Let's add Robbie Ray. Let's add Jesse Winker. Let's add Adam Frazier. Let's add Eugenio Suarez. Let's call up some of our top prospects and see what we can do. Let's trade for Diego Castillo. Let's make moves. Like, they're an interesting group. They're an interesting group. And I think they're, absolutely. I would put them on pace to win 90 plus games, and with expanded playoffs, finally getting that opportunity. And they're, something that kind of has gone unnoticed a little bit is, besides Robbie Ray, their starting pitching has actually been really solid. I don't know if they'll be able to keep it up, but the guys that they're going to roll out against the Rays, Logan Gilbert, Marco Gonzalez, Chris Flexen, they've all shown some really good stuff, some better than others, but what's crazy is that if we're talking about a Mariners team that won 90 games last year by giving Dylan Moore 400 plate appearances and crappy Jared Kelenic last year, like 400, like those were 2 guys that batted 180.
I mean, Jake Bauer saw 200 at bats too?
And they still, eked out, again, walk-offs, winning, coming from behind. They had some crazy
doesn't matter.
Luck, whatever it was. They won 90.
They won 90,
and I think they're a much more legitimate team this time around. So if the Rays struggled against them last year, they better be ready for a fight. You can't just walk in and say, it's the Mariners. This isn't the Mariners of the last 15 years.
I guess who knows how badly they did against the Mariners. The boys in the truck. They know that. And they didn't like that. They didn't like that. Again, we've gone over it in Seattle. Glasnow had just gotten hurt. It was like 3 walk-offs out of 4 games. And then that very intense Red Sox series happen, and then they had the Mariners come in. Wait, deja vu? The Red Sox came into town, and now they're going to be playing the Mariners.
Yeah.
Hopefully, there's not that letdown. But I think
I remember that happened last year. We actually
Yeah.
went to one of those Mariners games, and what was
Yeah.
it? Walker gave up like 6 earned runs
in 3 innings.
Yeah, the first couple innings it was like
the team was
it was
asleep.
clunker. Yeah,
The team was asleep.
we had great seats too.
Yeah, we did.
Thanks to
Cheryl. Yeah, thank you, Cheryl. So no, I think the boys know that. I think they're going to come out and want to right that wrong from 2021 and show that they are better than the Mariners. But I think right now it's a hot team. The Mariners are with their chin up and their shoulders back, and I'm expecting a really good series, and I think we should all be in for a treat.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun, and Seattle definitely is going to have some staying power with the additions they made, and they've got one of the better farm systems, I guess you could say. I mean, they got several guys within the top 100 prospects, you know, not including Julio Rodriguez and Kelenic. I mean, they got some other good guys on the come up as well. I'll be curious to see where the Mariners wind up after this 9-game road trip where they have the Rays, the Marlins, and the Astros. Then at home, they have the Rays, the Phillies. Then they go on the road again and face the Mets, Toronto, and Boston. Again, welcome to the AL East. It's like I don't really feel much sympathy when you have to go on the road and face Toronto and Boston. Like, we deal with that every season multiple times. So but can they stay above water? I think that's going to be a really big test for them. The road trip and then the homestand and then going on the road again against the Mets are 12-5 right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. I mean, I'm not going to give any predictions. I mean, here's what's weird though. Have the Rays even figured out who's going to start these games outside of Kluber? Is it just going to be bullpen day in Kluber? I don't know if any determination has been made on this.
Maybe Yarbrough comes back. Maybe some Romero time. Maybe some Phoenix
Yarbrough
Sun.
looked like poop in his rehab appearance against Term. And I mean, Kevin Cash was
he's making another one.
Yeah, his command sucked, basically.
Yeah, I love seeing that from Cash. Yeah. No, so definitely not Yarbrough. Okay, you're right. So maybe some Phoenix Sanders time, some Romero, some I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Or bullpen days. They rested on Sunday and they rested on Monday. Do a combined no-hitter. Let's go.
Work up that arm, Johnny Bravo. They might be calling you up pretty soon.
Ayo.
I mean, come on. Anyway, let's hope they don't do as bad as they did last year.
Just win the series. There you go. That's it. 2
out
of 3, baby.
Let's leave it at that. Yeah. All right. Thank you for making the Locked On Rays podcast your very first listen every day. Now make your second listen, the Locked On MLB podcast. That is also free and available on all platforms. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you tomorrow.